Welcome to the last video for chapter 13 on emotion, stress, and health. We're going to do sections 4 and 5 on this: stress and emotion, stress, and health, how to cope. So let's get into it. How to cope with stress and emotion. So the big question is, are negative emotions hazardous to your health? I just said that stress can kill you. Stress hurts your immune system in previous videos. How hazardous is it to your health overall, besides being negative, being angry, being sad all the time? There's a link in emotions and illness began in the 1970s, looking at hostility and depression specifically. And then looked at type A, very go-getting, very detail-driven, goal-oriented people versus type B personalities. Type B, you kind of go with the flow, a little more, not so directed. The toxic ingredient in type A personalities, and type A personalities seem to be more susceptible to heart disease, was cynical or antagonistic hostility. Those that were chronically angry were 5 times as likely to get heart disease. That seems like a link. We kind of portray that in the media. The people that have a lot of anger issues have heart issues. Maybe they have heart issues or anger issues because their hearts aren't working well. Who knows? It might be the other way around. The clinical depression also doubled the risk for heart attack. And so a recent theory stated that depression, anxiety, and anger hostility often occur together. You have a general disposition towards being negative, and so that in itself leads to higher rates of hypertension, of heart disease, and things like that. And so are you type A, type B? Are you negative or whatever? Do positive emotions actually help? They seem to be helpful. There was a study of 180 nuns. You're probably wondering why would they study nuns? Because they have the same environment. They have the same outlook on life, pretty much. They're all in the same boat. The nuns who were more positive and happy lived 9 years longer on average than the ones that had a pessimistic attitude. Positive people are more likely to attract friends and supporters, which also contributes to good health. Being an outgoing person and a positive person, people like to hang out with you. Nobody really wants to hang out with Debbie Downer all the time. It wears on you and causes you to be stressed and more negative. Students who track positive negative emotional ratio for a month, they had students do this. Positive people were better off on average. And so turn that frown upside down and be a positive person. It does help. Remember, you can fake it till you make it. Fake a smile and it signals in the brain that, hey, we're happy, and releases more chemicals and makes you actually feel better. Should we then suppress the negative feelings? Should we, bury them deeply inside of us and just, pretend sometimes? It requires physical effort to suppress negative feelings. People who express matters of great emotional importance have elevated levels of white blood cells. And so it is sometimes good to let it out, to have a good cry, to have a shouting match with yourself or something, or, primal scream therapy. There is the benefits of confession, getting things off your chest. Students who revealed their deepest thoughts and feelings have higher rates of anxiety and homesickness, but fewer bouts with physical illness. And so maybe it is healthier to let things off your chest, even though it does cause anxiety and worry. Anxiety and worry is a lot like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Confession can actually make you feel worse sometimes because now you're worried about it. If you tell the wrong person and they're going to tell everyone else. It can produce insight and understanding as well, and so it depends on the person. You're not going to turn into me, myself, and Irene if you bury all your hardcore feelings and have a dissociative identity disorder like Jim Carrey in this movie. So the benefits of letting grievances go. Forgiveness has health benefits. Reduces the sign of physiological arousal, restore feelings of control. To forgive. You can see light events in a new light. There's something you can do. You can kind of look at a different perspective, and it helps people move on. Health psychologists suggest a middle path between the two. So how do you cope? First off, if you're really upset, cool off. The most immediate way to cope is to separate yourself, to get away from whatever's causing the stress or the negative emotions. So reduce the physical arousal of it. And if it's noise, if it's poverty, it might be a little tougher in your living situation. There's progressive relaxation techniques that you can look up and try to do, where you tense and relax your muscles and try to, flex and do this stuff. And that's supposed to help. I don't know. That probably creeped you out at home. To solve the problem, emotion focused and, problem solving, coping, really kind of breaking it down, trying to get to the bottom of it and fix the problem. Some problems can't be solved, though. It's not so easy. Sometimes you have to reappraise the problem. You need to learn from experience. Tragedy can make people stronger, more resilient, better people. they can become stronger. Just like when somebody breaks a bone, it comes back stronger, it heals stronger. People can go through tough situations and do the same thing. You can also make social comparisons, compare to others in worse situations. You know, if you're watching this currently in 2020, you're stuck at home because of the coronavirus, we're quarantined, it could be worse. You could be in Sudan in the middle of civil war. You know, we have first world problems here in America where you just skipped your last Pandora song for the hour. The new song's even worse, which none of you guys use Pandora anymore. It might be Spotify. We have a lot of first world problems here in America. You know, and we joke about it, but when you put things in perspective and compare it to other people, you realize you have it not so bad. Reach out to others. Your friends can help you cope. When you get a little help from your friends, like the Beatles said here, the friends can help improve your health, especially the ones that are important for people with stressful jobs. People that have stressful jobs like air traffic controllers, police officers, firefighters, teachers, nurses, doctors, they need support from their friends. You can also cope with friends. Some friends aren't helpful. Some are harmful. Some make you do bad things, and they feed your negative emotions. And so you have to pick and choose which friends you're going to hang out with. Not everyone's supportive. Not everyone's there for you. Married couples who argue more hostilely had worse immune systems. And so married couples that work things out together and do well, they get along better. They actually are healthier versus the ones who argue and are negative towards each other. They get sick more, which causes more stress. Big picture, be happy. Find a positive. Find a silver lining in everything. You can do it. You're special. You're a miracle that you live here, that you're here. It's a miracle that you got to this point. You know, how many generations of your family were lucky and didn't get hit by a bus or didn't get the, this disease or that disease, and they made it. And you were one of, I don't know, how gazillion little sperm cells that got in. You're a miracle. Be positive. Be awesome. You're a special person. Let me know if you have any questions.